Right.
Hello and welcome to the Chilled Cardano podcast. I am Illinois with Chilled Cardano on Twitter and also Adaquariums on Twitter. How are you boys doing?
Doing good, Eric.
We have Adaquariums here because he's got a very special project he wants to tell us about. I believe it's called Buzzers. Is that right?
So basically it's the Adaquariums Project. So, right now the first drop is the Founders Edition. And so those races of bots are referred to as the buzzers. That's like the first species that came around. And like a little backstory of like what that all is and what a buzzer is basically a water filtration robot. That's a drone. And so the whole kind of lore and backstory behind the Adaquariums Project is essentially like, in the future, water is so scarce and people need, a way to like filter it. And so this large company that used to be a aquarium filtration company essentially gets, huge and becomes kind of this conglomerate style, like Amazon, huge money making company. And so essentially they become the be all end all to the human race of kind of saving humanity. And these robots go around and deliver and filter water. And so the buzzers were the first kind of addition to that. And I thought it'd be interesting to just explore kind of the robotic, post-apocalyptic, NFT lore. And I wanted to do it kind of in a way that really I hadn't seen anybody do, where it's kind of more cartoony and kind of more childlike, but post-apocalyptic at the same time. So I'm trying to explore that creatively too with this first buzzer drop. And so you kind of see that everything's kind of a little bubbly and happy. But it also is the first edition of them. So it's kind of like they're still the new guys. So these editions, the buzzers, they're still kind of humans around. And that lore will kind of evolve, and you'll see like the different species as we go through like the seasons and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot. I've been having this on my mind for a year and a half, so the lore part has never been an issue because the story as you're making art, kind of just you want to have it as an artist in your head when you're building it. So that's kind of really what evolved the lore more and more as time went on, as I was like crafting my art and making all these different species. So yeah, I'd say it was a really cool it kind of evolved into this lore where I could almost see it into like a mini series, like an animated thing. If it got to that point down the road, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I like that lore. Kind of gives me like Wall-E type vibes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time, I think. So huge influence in this, I think. Yeah.
And luckily, it's like a fantasy, and it's not like a real issue that we'll be facing in the future, too, right? We don't have companies like Nestle that are trying to do this.
Definitely on the front of my mind as well. Like I wanted to play in the like, oh, that could happen, but obviously we know this world is in a weird spot where everything in the future is kind of just in this, we don't know what's going to happen, especially with AI and just, all the global climate and just destabilization and just having everything be reliant on robots and something so bare bones essential like water. I thought would be so interesting to play into, especially just because of robots obviously aren't necessarily supposed to be around water. They're robots and they're electronic, so I thought that would be also kind of interesting to play with, just design wise.
Can we get into like some of the details with the how many is this first batch gonna be?
Yeah, so the first batch would be 300.
Okay.
That would be the founders drop, and that essentially is just meant to be for more than my hardcore supporters. And that's going to be 60 ADA. There's no whitelist for it, just being because I wanted to make sure this one really sold out and we got everybody, that's really wanting to be there to show up to be a first come first serve basis.
And then with
Old school
this,
Addy.
sorry, with this first
Yeah.
batch, is it gonna be like, uh, have you custom made each one of these, or how did you go about
Yep.
making them?
So I went with the not technically like a one-on-one approach, like in the style, like they're all original, they're all unique. I wanted to have kind of a generative feel to it,
Mhm.
but it being 3D, there is ways to do generative drops, in 3D where you can have Python, kind of tell everything to go into one spot. So it will kind of look like that. But that being said, I am manually doing all of them one by one, like rendered wise, just because
Awesome.
of how intricate, they are. I want to make sure everything looks good. And the other way, you really kind of just get results that they didn't get what I wanted, essentially. But yeah, and everything's gonna be rendered out 4K renders. Definitely like high quality. I was thinking of doing that whole GLTF format where you can rotate the model and look around, kind of like how Equine does and stuff.
Hmm.
But I just wanted to do a PFP style for the first drop. I feel like most people resonate the best with that. Maybe in the future I'll do something where like a 3D model you can rotate around, like kind of like Shores Mass were.
Right.
So yeah, but the nice thing is these models too. They're modeled out. I'm gonna save each one, so if somebody were, to approach me for a collab with a metaverse, maybe I could throw these guys in there. People could be, avatars of these little buzzers flying around. I think that might be interesting. Which I am in talks with a few of them too, just to kind of get the ball rolling. Obviously, being the new project, they want to see what I do later on. So
Right.
I'm interested to see where that could go.
Maybe do some
Yeah.
Vox Adaquariums.
I will. Whatever I can do to get my name out and get this thing going, I'm not against it. To be honest with you.
I love the lore. I think it's a really cool idea. Like when you were talking about your story, I like really visualized it. So it's definitely something that I feel like is really fleshed out. Is there like, are you gonna have like a website where we can go like see the lore and like maybe just like, yeah, just like kind of a place for like the community to go, or what your thought
hmm
process is behind that?
Yeah, so that's another thing is I'm in the works right now of building the website.
Hmm.
And I didn't want to do a lightweight kind of website, like here's like what is an NFT, here's how to mint. I kind of wanted a more interactive website, just like kind of how you mentioned, where people can see the lore, see some visualizations of what the next species might look like. So I'm spending a lot of time on it and costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it will probably come around, yeah. It will probably be ready next month, which would be perfect too, because that will be right when I think my community will have a lot more people kind of asking, where is this info and like where can I get it? So that will be coming. I got a meeting actually right 2 weeks after the drop. He's gonna send me kind of more of visualizations of like what UI and what it's gonna look like. But I'm excited because that's gonna be what the future of the staking platform will be like.
Also, there's gonna be
He
a
won't
staking
be,
element.
yeah. So that's gonna be
Mm.
down the road. That'll be after the season one drop, which is not to be confused with the founders drop. But that's gonna be built into that, and after the season one drop. The staking will be multiple projects actually.
So it's gonna be like
It'll
a
be all the
community of people as opposed to
yeah,
like let's just take like you know, Ape Society. Like they have Ape Society NFTs, and then they have their Ape Society coin, and then they have their Ape Society staking. You're gonna be more as like, this is a community of, I'm guessing, smaller projects that come together and create some type of an ecosystem.
exactly. Yep. That was my biggest thing with this, was providing a platform not only for people to be able to stake, but also paying homage to all the projects to kind of help me get to where I am. So
Yeah.
like any project, that I worked on previously, right away they'll be able to stake
Hmm.
immediately when the tap, bots are able to be staked. And that was something I had in mind, well ahead of time when I was building the idea for this project. I just think it's important for people to kind of, see that I didn't forget about any projects, in the past that I've worked on. So like,
That's
the horror
awesome.
punks, yeah, Raging Reds, Churs, all those guys will be able to stake on day one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know you had some additional utility that you were mentioning to me. So what was some of the other utility?
Yeah. So the one I'm really excited about, and it's just one of those things where it's like so hard to talk about because I want to keep so much of it like to the, you know what I mean? Like I want to keep it
Yeah.
secret, but then again, like these are the times where you got to start telling people what you work on. So I'm really excited because we're developing a in-game Discord bot. And so what this bot will do is read what NFTs you have, and these NFTs will be tied into like the game and have logic built into them. So it would be kind of like not your buzzer bot NFT, but what we're gonna do is do these card pack releases.
Wow.
And these card packs will have, like certain attributes tied to them, like attack, defense, that kind of stuff,
Speaking my
similar to like
language.
Pokemon. Yeah,
I
no,
love I
card
love card
packs,
games.
Pokemon. And it will be cool because it will be one of those where you won't have to actively sit and like, grind out and play the game. It's gonna be a battle royale style to where like you choose your characters. So say you have 20 different cards you end up collecting, and then you have like this one really cool character. You get to choose him prior to the battle and as your like, warrior, and depending on what stats he does or what stats he has will depend on what he does throughout the battle and scenes. And so instead of like that, you've played the battle royales in people's games or people's projects, right? Where you know, it'll say like, 8 aquariums decided to rest, or 8 aquariums stabbed somebody in the back. Well, you think of it kind of more of it being, driven by that character and like his stats. So each, sentence would be tied into that game logic, and your chances of, succeeding would be based on his stats. And so it'd be more of like a battle royale specific project, game. And the cool part with this is it'll be a cheap mint for these cards, and most of the funding will be going into prize pools for tournaments for my community. And I really wanted it to be like kind of a degen kind of style mint, where people just like, oh yeah, I'm kind of just hanging around the Discord. I want to mint something. Oh, these are cheap. Okay, cool. Because I know how people, even myself, I like to just mint sometimes. I get that itch, and so at least at least with this itch to scratch funding will go towards something that will be kicked back to you if you participate in the game and do these monthly tournaments that we have set up.
It sounds like a
Yeah, that's
blast.
cool. It's not something you're just looking at. It's like, maybe I'll get one that's like
Yeah.
like super good stats, and I can
Actually,
win some of these.
And I'm sorry, I should have sent you one before we got talking about it. Let me just shoot you real quick. One of our this is honestly just a placeholder that I gave the bot developer to kind of give him an idea of like what I was thinking in my head as we are developing this. This was the first kind of rendition that I had in my mind when I built the uh, game out. I just sent it to you in a DM. And so
Hey, send
basically
it to Mike, because I'm just on an iPad right now.
oh yeah,
But just keep talking.
yeah, no worries. So this one right here, just so you know, the cards, the art is all going to be mid-journey based. And that just allows for the scalability to be able to have like a bunch of different cards and not have to hire an artist, and it allows for a cheaper mint too. What is your name on Discord, Mike? Why can't I find you?
On Discord, it's Chilled
Yeah.
Cardano.
Oh, that's probably I was
I
typing
just
in
sent
your
it to you in Telegram
Jill
too.
Cardano 6950.
420 XXX.
Slayer.
Yeah, no scope.
No scope. Hold on, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
You're really coming against that max character limit with that username.
XX. Yeah, can I get the digits to your
Here she
gamer
is.
tag? And
It's
Okay.
underscore XX.
but the the idea behind the whole cards and the cheap degen mint and all that, the game part, kind of came like for the whole Discord game part came because I wanted to utilize just having everyone that stays in Discord to be able to interact as much as possible in Discord. And so that's why I wanted to develop the Discord game. Because I feel like that's something that people haven't really taken advantage of. Is keeping people tied into the Discord. They always want everyone to go somewhere else to play their game. So with this
Yeah.
way, you keep people just, in there. I think that's important because, Discord is the number one thing that we're always using as a project to
These
talk to our
cards look
community.
incredible, by the way. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Oh no, thank you.
they're
Really,
very cool.
I appreciate that.
Blown
Yeah,
away.
it's awesome, man.
When's that timeline for this? What are you looking at? Is this like, as far as the card
that's
games for release? Are we
the-
talking like within the year or farther than that?
definitely
Yeah.
within the year. My goal is to be able to do the founders drop and then to start to be able to kind of release like, these are for sure going to be like, the cards are done. Here here's some test ones. It's really up to the bot designer and
Okay.
how well he can come through with it. But the cool thing is even if it isn't like completely polished and done, I'm still gonna be giving a lightweight version to like my founders holders and letting them do like test runs.
Okay.
And I'll be giving a link to the GitHub for that too. So, full
Very cool.
transparency.
Nice.
People will be able to see what's going on in the back end. And the nice thing is with a skilled community that we have, I imagine people, will start, releasing or helping my bot developer in some way or form.
So it's
But
not
he's
just you
saying
building this out. You have a team behind you as well.
Yep. So I'm not paying him directly up front. So I didn't list him on my little team thing, and he didn't really want to be. But I met a developer. He's down in Texas. He's got more skill in like server-based development,
Okay.
but he's very proficient in Python. So for him, when I was talking about building a bot, he was like, "Oh, Python, Discord, yeah, that's easy," and he says he can get it done within a few weeks. So I mean, that being said, I don't want to hold my breath only because hearing that is like music to my ears because that would be like right. That'd be like a week after a drop, you know. So I'll see what he comes up with in a few weeks, and we'll show it to you guys. Whatever it may be. Just saying, hey, this is our first beta test.
I've
So
always
that's
been,
another thing is
I've always been blown away by the way you've been able to get a team together. You're just like those skills of yours is very strong. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you. This team we got, it's something I've been trying to do for so long. That was the thing, is finding the right people was the hardest part of this entire thing, but now that I got them and things are rolling, it's nice to see it all kind of come together finally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like throw shade at previous projects or anything, but it just feels like, I don't know, like I've been following you for a long time, and this one feels like, I don't know, like it's so much more fleshed out, and I like feel like this is your baby, and like, it just feels like so and it's like, just so cool to see like your evolution in this space too, like just following you from the early days of the chairs and stuff like that. So it's just kind of fun. I'm really excited for you and your project to just see where this goes and evolves, and just the speed at which you've been able to do this. Like seeing some of the renders of like the bots is like so cool. I'm like, these are really badass,
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me, honestly, and I can't tell you, it is my baby. Like, and I think that's the difference with this, being being the the founder and having the keys to the dev wallet and being in the driver's seat is just such a huge difference. Because creatively, with a lot of the other projects, I love everybody that I've worked with, but just like any dynamic team, when you're not the boss and you don't have the keys to the
Right.
castle, it's kind of hard to get things done sometimes,
Yep.
and
It's not your
a lot of projects.
IP, right? It's not your original artwork, so it's like you're just waiting for somebody else to like, even if you're more excited and you're more like actively trying to like do something, it's like with other people who aren't maybe as motivated as you to like get things in a certain direction, it's like hard. It's like you almost have to hold back sometimes. But now with this is being your baby, it's like you want to make a move, you need to find a person. I'm gonna go find that person. I'm gonna get shit done. Like, and it's like not just about having like it'd be awesome if you had millions of dollars, but like especially like these things I feel like are like a small business. And it's like sometimes it's not just about money, it's about who you know too. And it's about like inspiring those people to be like, hey, this is my vision. This is where I see it going. And it's like I'm gonna get there. Like do you want to be part of this? Because like this is gonna be fucking awesome. So like let's go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know.
I could tell you that. I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. Because this space, you got to get things, people excited.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the easiest part is when like you get in this space, everyone has all these big grandiose ideas, and everything feels so new. And but the problem is when you get all these big ideas, you have to really just you have to put the pen to paper.
Right.
And thankfully that's kind of what I've been doing this entire time. It's okay, well, I have this idea. Okay, how do I implement it? How much money do I need? What does it
Right.
look like? And I think that's one kind of fallback with most projects is they think they get the money and I will just solve it. I
Right.
just need money and I can solve
Right.
all these problems. Well, you didn't line up the people beforehand. And I think that's a key part that people miss out is getting the people, then getting the money, and then hiring those people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so thankfully I got the people lined up. The money just needs to come in from the first drop, and then it gets funneled into the proper channels for where it needs to go on the roadmap. And I think the way I developed it over time was just chunking away at each part of that roadmap and making sure, okay, yep, I can achieve that. Yep, I can achieve this. After this. Um, I think that was really important to showcase.
Well, the
Uh,
other awesome thing with you is that you've been in Cardano NFTs from almost the beginning. So like people know you, and at this point, it's just like 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 most people in the community have been rugged one way or another. And so like the fact that you've always just been consistent and honest and truthful, like that just builds so much trust. And like like for the future too, it's like everybody knows you're not going anywhere. Like we've all been through shit. It's like this bear market's been brutal. Like hopefully like we get a nice relief bounce here. But I mean like things seem like if you're in a space long enough, it's like things start to line up. And it's like, okay, like you've just been through enough issues and problems that you know how to deal with it too. You know how to get past it. And so it just bodes really well for this project.
but yeah, I mean that's something I was hoping on, and I'm glad somebody else can say it other than myself, because
Yeah.
you see these projects just show up out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
everybody is just so ready to mint. And I'm like, well, if I do my thing, I hope people can understand. I've been here. I'm not going anywhere. And people know me. I mean, I'm doxed as more than. I mean, I don't know if it matters if you dox longer than anybody else, but it's like, where's all the brownie points in the space that I can possibly get?
No, I think
Because I
it's
mean,
there. It's just like sometimes it's slower than other things, but people will always be able to look at your Twitter account, your Discord, and be like, "Oh shit, he's been here for a long time," and he's been a part of other teams and stuff. So they're able to see that go back, and then also the other thing that I mean personally, like the thing that is really enticing to me is the small amount of the NFTs that you're starting with. I think that's super enticing too because it's like, okay, you're not. This isn't a cash grab. You know what I mean? Like you're building for the future, and it's like this is like everything's like feels very purposeful.
oh, that's good. That's exactly the verbiage I would like to hear, because it is. That's 300 was just enough to get this going, and I think that was my biggest thing I wanted people to understand. I wasn't trying to come out the gate doing a 1K, 2K, 3K drop,
Right.
because 300 it's kind of like an odd number. It's not
Right.
100. It's not a limited one-on-one focus. It's not 500. It's not 1,000. 300 was just that perfect number that allowed the development for the Discord bot. It allowed for the website to start getting built,
Mhm.
and everything else, in that first step of the roadmap. So yeah, purpose, exactly. And that was the driving roadmap. Will have each step have a purpose. And that's the nice thing with this whole project, is none of it is purpose. My purpose of this project is to line my pockets with billions of dollars and say, okay, well, I gave you your NFTs. Good luck. Hope they become worth something. And so the nice thing with this project, there will never be a moment where you don't know what's going on. Every part of it will have its like checkpoint. Oh, okay, well, so we're here in the roadmap. What's next? Oh, this part. And so the updates will always pertain to that part of the roadmap. Yeah, being transparent is the easy part, I think, in this space, if you're doing it right, I guess. And
Yeah.
having it planned out for so long that's going to be easy.
Have you I know you've been a part of the Cardano community a long time. Have you played around with any other blockchains at all to see like as far as NFTs go?
I just recently have actually I've jumped over to AVAX a little bit just because they bombarded my tweet. They're having so much fun. Those guys are wild. I had to go over there and say hi. Yeah. But I didn't purchase any. I just kind of set up a wallet, and I really just wanted to see what it was like to do that for the first time, because I never had. Set up a different wallet on a different blockchain. Get some tokens loaded up in there. But I haven't pulled the trigger yet on anything yet. But I do want to do that soon. And I might just start, reaching out to these guys and seeing if they might want to work together, do some cross-chain, collabs. I never thought about it prior to, building this project. But as soon as I saw that community bombard my tweet and how much fun I was having talking to them, I was like, maybe we could actually do something with these guys. Because it's a different feeling of community. Like, they're all about the memes and like just really focusing on having outlandish humor. I think that was the vibe that I was getting over there.
Yeah.
Over here it's like good morning and like very nice handshakes and like, you know what I mean, and everything's very, I want to say, kind of formal, as close as we could get in the NFT space. As to where over there they're like ripping the doors off the hinges and just showing you like boobs and just saying like, what we have, you better like it. I like that approach, so I think there could be some room for me over there, hopefully.
Yeah, it's the AdaVax alliance is very strong now. I like those guys too, and I kind of feel like we could use more of it. Just like, I know Dirtbirds, like that community is kind of like that, where they're just like, they'll bust through the door and just throw you some memes, but like for the most part we are kind of like I don't know, a little more formal, a little more like, I guess it's because like our background is like, oh, we're all about the blockchain, and like we're not about
very technical,
the memes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's coming from that background, but we could joke around a little more, and I think people are starting to do that. But
I love to see it. I think it's cool like that Cardano is becoming a part of like or at least like with Ethereum, like in Solana leading NFTs, it's like we can finally start to melt away that bullshit of like my chain versus your chain. And it's like at the end of the day, like especially in a bear market, you start to realize it's like when there's 10 guys on Cardano and 20 guys on AVAX and 10 guys on Ethereum, it's like, why don't we just hang out together? Like we're all just hanging out on Twitter and Discord. It's like, let's just all like group together, and like who cares? Like you have assets on that chain, I have assets on this chain. It's like obviously like this whole thing's kind of like going up and down together. It's like it's
we're more
starting
similar
to feel
than
it's so silly that like that one thing, it's like keeping people apart, especially when people don't care. Like people will diversify into a bunch of things, like to think like one chain will rule them all, like Bitcoin or something, is kind of silly at this point. So I just think like,
You're right.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, you're just, I mean, you nailed it on the head. It's like, why would we all just sit in our corners and hope that we can make it, in our own little tiny bubble
Right.
when we can all kind of come together and link, arms across chains? And, we're starting to see the comfortability with more projects and just people in Cardano going over to the east side or AVAX, where it used to be so taboo to just kind of even mention other NFTs. Like, what? You put liquidity in another blockchain? How dare you? And I think now we might, I hope, see this kind of evolution of NFTs to where maybe like blockchains aren't even mentioned. It's like more of a, I have an NFT project, and then you almost just have to figure out what wallet you need to fire up to get
Right.
the
Well,
Yeah.
nonsense.
not even that, but
Yeah,
like, I mean, when you look at like JPEG Store, the way they're able to, you're able to pay with Solana or Ethereum, you're bringing
yeah.
people from other chains too. So I think like if other chains are smart, they would do the same thing with ADA, right? So I could use ADA
hmm
on OpenSea or on JPEGs,
Yep. I think that was just such a shocking moment when I saw that on JPEG Store. I mean, I knew the day was coming, but I mean, they just right out the gate, there was no warning. It was just boom. And the cool credit cards too with payment. I mean,
Mm.
geez, we went from this time last year just getting smart contracts to now being able to charge on a credit card NFTs and pay with Ethereum and Solana.
And
So I mean,
we're not, and folks at home, we're not promoting that you buy your assets with credit cards. We're just saying
yes,
it's an option if you're. Please pay
yeah,
your
If you're a
bills.
true degen.
yes. It is an
Don't max
option of
out your credit
payment,
cards.
but yeah, we do not condone that form of behavior at all. Because if anything, a credit card should not be used for digital purchases, in my opinion, at all. Just because, as a person with a credit card, let me tell you, those things are dangerous.
Yes, they're very dangerous. So be careful out there. We're just saying it's an option.
hmm
We're not saying go whole hog, max out $10,000 of JPEGs.
I
Eric.
can't
No.
wait till you can earn rewards with your credit
Oh,
card
no.
Oh
buying
yeah.
NFTs.
Oh god.
That'll be ridiculous.
Don't give Visa any
Um,
ideas.
Now that we're like, I feel like we're in a mini bull run right now. It's kind of interesting, like watching the NFT market, and you see like people just like stop buying NFTs whenever there's like a little run, and I'm just like, just curious. Do you think that once things level out, will they become more popular, or will it become less popular, or just kind of stay how it was at the same prices? Like, what's your opinion?
Last year, the way that everything played out in the bear market, I think we just have like a lot, excuse me. I think we have a lot of projects and teams that have been building, like kind of how I have, that are just going to explode, I think. And the reason being is these people that have stayed here and built, not only have they've had a lot of time because things have been quiet, so they haven't been distracted by a community or having to like, talk to a bunch of people. So since things have been so quiet, but people are still here, it shows me that the people, that are gonna show their hands and show their project, they're really gonna have quality content, I think.
Yeah.
I hope. So I think it's really gonna be, way more than what our last bull market was. I think quality wise and project business minded, focus driven people are gonna be more around. And I'm hoping that means that, some of these more ruggy projects or these quick to mint, hyped up, no doxing kind of came out of nowhere will start to fade away. I think we'll start to see more of that just based on, um, you know, the way that I can see the tide shift in conversations about rugs is that you can see it open on Twitter. Like people say, I think this is a rug and I wouldn't buy this. It's
Yeah.
where before people weren't as quick to kind of call it like that openly on Twitter.
That's
So
true.
I'm seeing kind of more self-protection of other people on Twitter, which is nice. But yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be our year because if we're starting off January and it's showing an uptick like it is, and The interest in NFTs across the board has still been, up throughout this bear market. I think we're gonna see a huge explosion here.
Yeah, I think so too. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny how like I don't know, like November, October, like you could look at JPEG Store or something, and there's like almost nothing new minting. And if it was like a project that's been around, and they're doing like a new drop. But now if you look, it's like these ruggy looking projects are back. Like there's like 10 of them in the top sellers, like they just come back so fast. And it's like, I feel like since
know.
I've been here for a little while, like I can pick them out. It's like, oh, that seems like I've never heard of that. And then now it's on the top of JPEG Store. It's like a reveal mint. Like, of course it's gonna rug. Like, but they just
All
come
the
back so
typical things.
fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's that whole revealment. It's all the typical telltale signs, and I think that's the one most frustrating part of it is when you just keep seeing it, and then people keep buying it, and then they keep getting scammed over and over and over again. And I mean, it shows me that either there's a bunch of new people coming in, or there's a bunch of people that don't mind giving away their money over and over again.
What
But
are
I'm
your
hoping it's
Sorry, what are your thoughts on because I know you're a big um AI text prompt kind of a guy too. What are your thoughts on like you're seeing a lot of these projects that are using AI to mint like a 10K collection? Is how do you feel about that? Like I see some people being like, "This is bullshit." Like I can't believe AI art's a thing, and then I have other people on the other side. Like, how do you see it?
it's kind of interesting. I think as long as a project is very upfront and forward that the artwork is created by AI, I think that anything like that is okay because basically all you're doing is providing imagery at that point and saying, "Look, a computer made this. Would you like to purchase?" And
Right.
to me, that's the biggest thing about it is, these false kind of projects that are trying to paint it anything other than AI is where I start to have issues. There's one, the Monster Club, or I can't remember the name of them, but they're these little kind of 3D looking rendered monsters,
Hmm.
and they have like a whole ticket system, and they're exploding right now. I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head, but I gained a little bit of respect for him because somebody asked who's the artist. Can we know who the artist is? And they said in the comment right away, these were handpicked AI image generated, uh, you know, artists or artwork. And so I was like, good, at least they're doing that. Um, but that being said, it puts it in a weird spot only because, what's the future look like of that artwork because of the way that AI is evolving. So
Yeah.
project based, in my mind, what would season 2 look like? Because I'm so reliant on digital devices to create that artwork. Midjourney changes throughout time, so you might be trying to prompt something and get certain results that would look a lot different in 2 3 months. So I think having a project do AI artwork is fine, and even my project will have sprinkles of it, with the cards and even some of the decals on the robots, the stickers were AI generated.
Yeah,
And
and
so I think like,
I think it's a tool. It's just like something like I use it for our thumbnails for our videos. So like I just think sometimes it could even make like even your original artwork like because you could put an original piece of your own art into the AI and then have it like just like make it a little bit better, make it a little bit shinier, make like. And I
hmm
don't know if that necessarily like ruins it or like makes it worse or like, oh, this thing helped you like speed up your timeline as far as like, but yeah, I think it's a good thing. It's gonna get weird for sure. I think.
it's the weird part of all this is, as a 3D artist, one saving grace is, oh well, everything is 2D, for AI.
Hmm.
Well, guess what? Now the world obviously is looking at 3D for, or I'm sorry, AI is starting to make its way into 3D, so where you can make a 3D model that's tangible and has the same kind of qualities that I would have done and made in 3D.
Yeah.
So we're gonna The future of AI is going to be interesting. I already know what it looks like. It will be, instead of prompting images, you're going to be prompting your video game, your first-person shooter. You want to play a first-person shooter with a dynamic story, that's intergalactic space wars.
Hmm.
You would have each user experience be completely unique based on that prompt, and I think that's going to be the future of it. It's going to be completely self, you know, created. So like when you prompt it, it builds the game engine, it builds the models, it builds the textures, it builds the game logic and all those weapons and characters and the story, and it will just all happen at once because of how fast all of those systems will be able to speak to each other and
Yeah.
how fast they'll be able to learn off each other. Because Unreal is already doing it. You can block out large areas in Unreal. Say you want to make a castle, so you just throw in a large block, type in medieval castle, and all automatically starts to texture
That's
and
pretty sick.
change that block.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's
Well, that's
already
why I'm
happening.
excited for stuff like this for like small creators like you know, like where like you're not going to need a massive team to like build out what your plan is for like this project too. It's like okay, I want to build like, some type of a metaverse too. Like that's on the table now because
Yeah,
like especially if you get into the weeds with some of this stuff like yes, it's created by AI, but like there's so much work involved into getting what you are envisioning to actually show up in the AI too. It's not simple.
mm,
It's not easy, so I just hate the idea that like because you're using this tool, it's like someone giving you shit for using Photoshop and being like, "Oh, it's helping you like
right.
mask out certain items." Like that's bullshit. Like back in my day, we had to use an eraser. It's like like this is part of the evolution of this stuff. Like we're going to keep evolving, and it's not just about how. It's not the fact that you just use AI. It's like at the end of the day, people want to see something really fucking cool, and it's like they're not always going to be asking you like how you made it. It's just like if it hits them right in the feels, like they're gonna buy it regardless. Like, and if it's a good game,
Yeah.
they're gonna play it. They're not gonna care how you built the 3D model.
No, you're right. And I think going back to like even the medieval times when people were painting castles and stuff, and then
Yeah,
all of a sudden the camera came around. It
yeah,
was the same kind of backstep where everyone was like, "Oh my God, we're not going to be able to paint anything because people just take a photo." So I mean, it's a tool that, as an artist, if you don't adapt to it or adapt to it now, you're going to be that much more confused later on as an artist in this world that's going to be around you. Because I think with even Photoshop, it's already implementing AI into it. Illustrator, all these programs that are artistic focused, 100%, you know, created or I'm sorry, 100% based on artist creation now will have tools built into them with AI. I mean, I saw something where Photoshop is doing like the in painting for Dolly. They're going to be
wow,
implementing that inside of Photoshop. So, whether artists will like it or not, it'll be a little tool on the left side, just like their paint bucket and their
yeah.
brush. Hmm. Yeah.
Adaquariums. Is
Uh,
there anything else you wanted to bring up with your project that we should go into?
the only thing is, I would say if you're, I know I don't have a traditional website or like a landing page to really, showcase like a bunch of artwork easily, but I would say, if you want to check out the latest sneaks, you can go on my Twitter, see some of the latest sneaks because I always make sure to tweet those out. Um, this first founders drop will be next week, Sunday, 6 p.m.
Let's
UTC.
go.
Yeah, 60 ADA.
What's the what's the
These
max
are the.
amount you can mint at a time too?
So I started
300.
off with. Yeah, I know, right? I started off with just allowing people to do 10,
10 at a
10 per
time.
transaction.
Okay.
Yeah. If I do get a bump in my numbers where it starts to look like, I have like 400 people in here, I might, dial it back so it is fair and
Okay.
people do get assets. But at the time, I'm just going to do 10 for right now. But, this mint is, it's important if you want to get in the ground floor of something huge here because, I've been here for a while and I've been building this for a year and a half. So if this is something you want to, or if you want to hold something that's going to gain value over time, I truly think with my project and this first mint, you're in the right hands, so to speak. Because I got everything planned out and I got the people I need. The liquidity comes in from this, and then we kick off the next step in the roadmap. And that's the nice part is there won't be a lull in this project because everything has the ball keeps rolling, so to speak. So I'm honestly just excited that I even got so many people in my Discord so quickly, considering how quickly I kind of just jumped the gun for this mint.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I'm really
excited.
excited. Yeah.
Will there be like special like one of ones in this mint?
Oh yes.
Okay.
So I'm working. I have a bunch of projects I've worked with before. And I definitely wanted to kind of push a little collabs
Oh, can
out there.
you
So
give us any little
yeah.
sneak little tidbits, or are we talking masks?
Well,
Well, we might have some
yeah.
really cool masks.
Let's just say that yes, you will see some form or variation of a mask making
So,
its
dude,
way into this project because those things are so damn cool.
I love those
uh,
masks.
but I will give you a little. I don't have any artwork that I can show you because I still
That's
got to
fine.
get the approval from them. But I
Totally
will
fine.
say that. So I'll just give you the rundown here. So I'll tell you who I'm collabing with. So we got Mr. Pineapple Pizza, we got Happy
Nice.
Hoppers, we got Bubblegum Bites,
Hell yeah.
we got the Chillos, yes, False
Yes.
Awesome.
Idols, Pets R Us, we got Pet Pot, obviously Raging Reds, the Churs, JPEG Store, Wing
Ooh,
Warriors,
Wow.
and Ada Elements. Those
Damn.
are all in this. Yep.
That's very exciting. I
bangers.
love all those teams.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was going through. I was like, that is a solid lineup.
Hell
Those
yeah.
are all good people. So yeah, I really wanted to do something. Just pay homage to all the good teams that I've kept in touch with. Throughout this entire CNFT journey. And when I told them I wanted to collab, it was just like, of course, here you go. It was easy. It wasn't something I had to keep knocking at their doors. So I'm just glad to have met and known all those people because you know they were so eager to help me out. What do you need from us?
Hmm.
So I'm really honored to be able to have those people as my friends.
Love it.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. It's finally here after all of this building, all the freaking renditions and bots. I can't tell you how many different bots I made along this journey. All the different fish. I was gonna do fish at first, and man,
I
it's
love
been.
them. The bots are they're so cute.
Yeah, they're dope.
Thank you.
They're really
Yeah,
good. I'll
yeah.
definitely
I
be
can't wait to.
minting a couple tutor trees. So
Let's
Double two
go.
tree. Did you say that the founders ones get you a whitelist to the following ones, or is it just like you just
So
get one, or how does that work?
yeah, I forget. There's so much to talk about with my project. I keep forgetting little details. So yeah, no, you're right. It's So when you purchase my founders mint, you get 20% off all reduced, or 20% off all future drops. So
Nice.
that's
very cool.
just only for the seasonal drops. So the card packs, you won't get a discount on the mint for that, just because they're going to be very cheap, like a 6 to 10 ADA mint, so to speak. But no, it's the only way you'll ever be able to get that kind of deal for mint cost. So in the future, if I do a drop, people will see hey, if you're founders, say I do like for math's sake, it's easy if I say okay, it's 100 ADA for everyone else, but it's 80 ADA for the founder group.
Mhm.
So not only do I want to you know um, kind of nod my head to all the people that helped me in the beginning and say, hey, look, I see you. Here's 20% off. But it also brings value, I think, to the NFTs later on. Because like I said, I'm here building this, and I think as this project gets bigger and bigger, those NFTs are going to be sought after that much more. So
Yeah.
I wanted to make, keep some value into the original if you're going to release some more NFTs. So I thought that was a good way to retain its value over time.
Definitely. I like that idea.
And the mint date is Sunday, you said?
Yep. It's January 22nd. Yep. Sunday,
22nd.
6 p.m. UTC, that's 3 p.m. Eastern, and all the other time zones. Yeah, I'm
And the
afraid to
other
go.
ones.
I was gonna say I was gonna try to run through them all, and I'm like, I don't want to mess one up.
Yeah.
And you have somebody in Discord
Leave it to
yelling
the
at you about
Discord
it.
bot.
Yeah, I love it.
And then maybe we'll
Adaquariums.
be in your Discord announcements or something.
Yeah, if you
The
go on
mint
my
address.
yeah, if you yeah, the announcement will be the only place we do the minting address.
Okay.
We're doing the old school Addy drop, just based on because of the website not being finished. But yeah, just only be in the Discord. So if you see it anywhere else, that is a scam.
Okay.
But
No,
yeah,
that's really
the
important.
Discord.
I think now, you know, especially with people making so many fake accounts and like constant people, you know, being hacked. So it's really important, guys. If you want to mint this project, it will only be on Adaquariums Project Discord.
Yes, very important to know because you're right. And no team member will ever DM you. We don't offer any escrow services whatsoever. So you won't ever
Yes.
see me trying to help you out with a trade. But yeah,
I'll
they're
give you
getting creative.
16 chilled Kongs for one of your 8 aquariums.
That sounds like the best deal in my life. It has to be true. Well, you know, these guys are getting so creative with the way that
Oh,
they're,
it's
you know,
insane, dude. Yeah, that's
yeah,
why
I
it's just
mean,
like, no, go ahead. Yeah.
no, you can only warn people so much, and you know, but you can't warn them that, you know, somebody might, you know, obviously impersonators are everywhere, but the way that they do it and bring somebody in to say like, oh, I'm going to offer you this, but I can't list it on this because of this reason. So my
Right.
buddy from this,
Yeah.
and just that whole dynamic, I'm like, you know, I'm impressed by their creativity now because we've pushed them so far into the corner because of, you know, a security bot and all these like really good precautions we've put in place. They literally have to like go in the back alley and be like, hey, I got a guy that knows a guy if you want
Right.
to.
Well,
So
answer
just
me
be,
this. Like, I don't understand why people don't just use like JPEG store or something. Like, why do they always like try to do some type of escrow service? Is it just to save a couple of ADA from
you know, it's
royalties?
you know what happens is they offer them such a good deal that alters their perception at that time. So, you know, if somebody says to you, like, I'll give you 1K ADA for something that's like at a 200 ADA floor, you're like, this dude's an idiot. So you think you're pulling one over on him.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, So
Wow.
when you're in that mindset, you truly just kind of, you forget your original, like, protections, you know. It's a mental game really that they're playing with people, and it works because you think you're getting this big payday from this idiot, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, oh, I just lost my asset. What happened there?
I think there was a mistake, sir.
Yeah,
And then he's gone.
exactly. Yeah. I'm just reading through my roadmap, seeing if there are any little last bits I want to drop before we get off. Oh yes. So Cardano land staking, I will be throwing in after. I guess this is after the season 1 drop, and I
Okay.
feel like bringing up season 1 might be a little. I'm probably confusing people with the founders drop, but after the season 1, which is
Oh,
after the
there's
founders
two
drop.
different drops then?
Well, so I have season 1 will be the like drop that is the continuation after the founders drop.
Okay. Okay.
So that is like still like a quantity and, you know, price determination still in the future. But yeah, I guess like most roadmaps don't ever like plan out another drop specifically.
Mhm.
But timeline wise, that's the hard part. I can't say like when for sure that's gonna happen. That's just all based on, you know, community feedback, engagement, and you know what these card packs look like and all that. But the plan is definitely to do a season 1 drop, more for like the public. And I want to do a cheaper mint. You know, 68 a mint to me for, you know, my project, I think was a little higher than I anticipated or wanted to do. And so I'm hoping to be able to kind of do more of a larger scale drop and have it be a little cheaper, more of a friendlier entry price of beta. And it's funny when I say that because, you know, 68, I guess now for most projects is a little cheaper than,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, that's how I was like, you could charge like 100.
but you
I
know,
would have paid
being
that.
a smaller team, I have the luxury, you know, I'm the mentor, I'm the dev, I'm the Discord guy,
Mm.
so I haven't had to hire this ginormous team of people to really help me. So
You're able
why
to
not
like,
pass the
yeah,
savings on to my community?
that's pretty.
Because at the end of the day, it's more about keeping my people happy, wanting to vent and be here, and as long as I can still make enough money for the work I put in, it's more about getting exposure. It's
I
really
love it.
what it is.
I'm excited.
Hell
Let's
yeah,
go.
man! I'm so excited for this. Yeah, it's been such a journey, and I'm just so glad that you guys were a part of it as well, to watch it kind of all unfold. And here we are. Because I mean, what has it been? Almost a
Yeah.
year since we've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
talking. Wow, jeez, that's
You were
incredible.
like our first guest, I think.
Wow. Oh, that's right. Yeah, when I came on with Reddington, right?
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, congrats to you guys, because I mean, you guys are still rocking and rolling. You haven't given up, and I love watching your videos, because it's like I was telling someone earlier, you're the one channel that's not the bag pump, moon boy channel. You actually
No.
truly
Yeah.
just, kicking it and telling it how it is.
Mhm.
So please keep doing that, because we need more channels like that.
Thanks, man.
course.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're always welcome back. So we'll definitely get
Well,
another
thank you.
update soon here after everything releases. We'd love to have you back soon.
For
Soon
season
too.
1.
Let's talk about it.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
get into it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I want to show you which ones I mint out and tell me how great they
Try to
are.
trade.
Seriously,
And
yeah,
we'll do
we'll
some
do it. We
escrow
can line-
trades after that too.
Yeah, and hopefully a face reveal. I mean, I've been trying to get my damn video camera, and I still just, still lagging behind on that. But I want to eventually throw up my face. It's not fair that you guys, sitting here, I'm staring at you guys,
Not
and,
seeing your face.
Yeah.
you
As far as I'm
have an
concerned,
avatar to
you're a race player. So
I'm an alien from a different world, so this is a voice mod. Actually, I am AI, to be honest with you.
oh shit. Breaking news.
ChatGPT. Yeah, exactly. But no, I really appreciate this platform you guys provide for me, and just giving me an open stage, and really let me just kind of speak my mind. I can't tell you how much it means to me.
Yeah, man.
The
You're a
trust you have in
great
this.
player in the space, like we wish there was more people like you out there, and it's just like the fact that we can give you like any type of stage is like great, and we're so excited for you and the team. And we can't wait to mint next Sunday. Let's
Awesome,
go.
man.
Yes. You'll have to
Let's
tweet it
go.
out so we could blow it up as well.
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Let us
Oh,
know.
for sure.
We'll definitely tweet it out for you. So
And I appreciate all the love and support, and yeah, we will be minting together next Sunday, because I
Yes,
want to
sir.
definitely grab some of them myself. Is that fair? Can I do that? Can I grab those
Yeah.
too? Well, thanks guys again, and I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, we'll see
All
you
right,
guys
man.
next week. Take
Yep.
care.
Have a good weekend.